What up, players? It's Warboss Tay up in this mug. Welcome to day 6 of my 2023 summer painting challenge. I haven't had any chance to work on my miniatures, so for today I'm going to be sharing the skill of urge surfing. I've been watching a lot of videos online about project like time management, finishing your projects through to completion, and I found a couple that I think are really terrific. And the first one that I want to dissect with you and talk about with you and hopefully inspire you to go on and research and do it yourself is called urge surfing. And what it is basically is that we acknowledge our urge to want to stop what we're doing. We acknowledge that our brain might be getting bored with doing assembly line painting, or our brain might be getting bored of not being sure if what we're doing is correct or if we're putting the right colors on, and our brain gets bored, right? Our brains get bored of what we're doing and it wants to do something else. That's why we have so many sprues, piles of sprues and unpainted miniatures that maybe we purchase the models because they look terrific on the website and in the videos and in the articles, and then we build them up and we primer them, maybe we start to paint them, but we never finish the models. And that's because our brain gets bored. It wants to do something else. It wants to engage in something else. It says, hey, you're wasting your time. It doesn't look that good. Or maybe this is not how it's turning out the way I wanted it to. And then our brain says, why don't you go do something else? Why don't you go play some video games or watch some Netflix, or go just leave this because this isn't working. Or maybe it doesn't say that. Maybe it says, you know what? Let's take a break. You've been working so hard. Let's go do something else. We'll come back to this tomorrow. We'll paint some tomorrow. And that's what my brain does all the time. And I think a lot of us have this urge to want to stop what we're doing because we're not sure if what we're doing is correct. So instead of charging forward, pushing forward and advancing, we get stuck in a limbo. And the skill I want to teach you to progress and to pull yourself out of that funk is called urge surfing. And it is basically acknowledging that we're feeling this way. I think we don't take the time to, this is such like a woo-woo kind of thing, but we don't take the time to acknowledge that our brain is feeling a certain way. We just want to keep plowing ahead and say, no, I can do this, I can finish. So our brain gets bored with a task and wants to do something else, and then it takes willpower to convince our brain to not feel that way, right? We expend willpower, we expend energy to tell our brain, no, don't feel that way. Keep painting, keep working. And it's exhausting because our brain is pushing against us and we want to finish our projects. So we tell our brain, stop feeling that way, and we want to push against it. So what urge surfing is going with the flow of that urge to do something else, to put it down and pick up the video games, or to put it away and put it in a bin and not touch it for a definite amount of time. So instead of saying, stop feeling that way, we're going to paint, we're going to work through it, urge surfing is basically acknowledging, oh man, I'm getting bored. I'm feeling no motivation. I feel lost. I don't feel like I'm progressing the way that I want to. And like I said, our brain gets bored of what we're doing. So eventually, if you acknowledge your feelings instead of hiding it or denying it or trying to push past it, if you just acknowledge for a second that you're feeling that way, then you're surfing on that urge to stop. You're riding a wave of not wanting to do what you committed to doing when everything was fresh and new and exciting and fun. And eventually, your brain, riding this wave of not wanting to do it anymore, your brain is going to say, you're not going to stop, you're not going to put this away and do something else. And then your brain is going to say, okay, you know what, fine, whatever. And your brain is just going to either quiet down, stop fighting you, or just shut off that urge. And I thought this was so weird, and I thought it was such a strange concept that I didn't really give it much thought. And the last time that I was working and I had time to keep working. And when I was doing this yesterday, all the greens, I thought after 4 guys, I said, okay, you know what? I'm doing well. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna do something else. I did this urge surfing, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna just acknowledge that I want to do something else, and I'm gonna keep painting a couple more guys while I'm acknowledging this urge. And I'm just gonna let it pass. I'm gonna let it wash over me. And you know what? It worked, you guys. Like, I finished everything. I finished all of the greens on all of my guys because I just acknowledged that I was feeling this way, and my brain got bored of me not putting the paint down. It got bored and it let me finish. So this is such a crazy concept, and a lot of people are gonna say, that doesn't make any sense. That's not gonna work, or that's so psychological and in your head, and that might not work for what I'm doing. Like, I'm only painting a single miniature, or I'm only painting a squad of 10 guys, and I don't think that's gonna work for me. And your brain right there is telling you it's not gonna work. Your brain is setting you up to fail, right? So give it a try. The next time you're thinking of shelving a project, or the next time you're wanting to stop what you're doing to get involved in something else, or the next time you're in the middle of painting something and you decide you want to purchase something else completely different, a whole new army or a whole new game system, or that you just want to put away what you're doing, then try this skill. Try to urge surf. Just try to acknowledge that your brain is feeling bored and that you want to do something else, and instead of pushing against it and saying, no, be quiet, shut up, we're gonna keep going, just take a second, put down the brush, and acknowledge that you're feeling that way. And I think it's gonna be amazing if you're working on any kind of project, any kind of painting project, as long as you give your brain the acknowledgement. If you recognize your brain is feeling that way, then you're gonna find that your brain is gonna quiet down. It's like I saw one video that they didn't call it urge surfing. I think urge surfing was coined by a video I had watched. But a lot of time project management videos I had been skimming and reading the articles for, they talked about this. Your brain is like a little child in your head that wants to always be stimulated. It always wants a dopamine rush of purchasing a new model, going home, unboxing it, looking at the sprues, clipping out the pieces, gluing them together, and looking at the final product. That's what your brain wants. Your brain is naturally wired to be resistant to actually putting in the further work of painting them up. So unless you can rewire that so that your brain feels the joy and that same dopamine rush of opening a model or purchasing the model, getting home and putting the box next to your hundreds of other boxes of unopened models, then you're not going to want to paint them up. What you're going to end up with are a lot of built, assembled models maybe, but nothing painted to completion, maybe half painted models. So give that skill a try. Everybody can try it. The second you're starting to feel that fatigue, unless your brain is really tired and you need to shut off to do something else. I'm not talking about if you've been painting for 3 hours and you want to force yourself to keep going. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you're working on a project and you find yourself getting bored with it and you want to put it away and you don't want to finish it. That's what I'm talking about. If you've got time management skills and you've got things that you got to do, you've got other responsibilities or commitments like work or family, then don't use this skill, because this is strictly for if you want to finish a project to completion. Basically finish what you started. So that's what I want to keep doing throughout the month. I'm gonna be taking the family to the Bay right now. We're going to visit the in-laws, so I'm going to see what I can pack up. I might not pack everything. I won't have my same setup as I do here, so I don't think I'll be able to do any unboxing videos, but I might be able to throw in some, I'm going to be doing some update videos, like basically out of the kitchen table, so it's going to be different. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoy this video. It's not going to be too long. It's just going to be a couple of days for the next week, and then I'll be back at the studio. I'm going to be updating every day, no matter what, putting in the time to do the daily videos, answering the daily questions and stuff. I hope you're having a great time out there, and I hope your weekend is kicking off well, or if you're watching this in the future, I hope you're having a great time. Think about what I said. Give it a try. give it a try. The next time you feel the urge to shelve a project, just give it a try. Acknowledge that it's happening, and then let your brain get bored with wanting to give up. Isn't that funny? Our brain gets bored with doing something. Our brain wants to give up. So acknowledge that, and then your brain is going to get tired of wanting to give up, and it's just going to let you finish. It's just going to let you keep going. It's going to quiet down and go sit in the corner and do something else. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to my sponsors, my patrons, Daniel Sprinkle, Pix, Dicey Guy, and Play It Painted. And thank you to you guys for watching. Check out the Discord where we've got videos going up every day. We'll see you tomorrow for day 7.